So far in 2018, we got some pretty cool Marvel movies, some MCU movies, and some non-MCU movies. So right now in this video, we're going to be dissecting, or more or less giving a ranking of the top 5 best fighting scenes from worst to best and all the Marvel movies we've seen so far. Yo, what is going on, guys? Matthew V. Haynes here, aka the Clockmaster. Today we're going to be ranking the top 5 Marvel fight scenes of 2018 so far. So this list includes movies, like I said in the intro, not just from the MCU, but from movies such as like Venom and Deadpool, such like that. So we had the movies Deadpool, as I said, Venom, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Black Panther, and Avengers Infinity War. So I wanted to pick at least one fight scene from all 5 of those movies and rank them in top 5 from worst to best. So we're going to start with the worst. I was kind of inspired to do this video by a podcast I was listening to yesterday. They were just listing like their top 10 best comic book scenes, fight scenes of all time. I think I'll do that video some other point later on because I think that list will take a little bit more time for me to make. I want to do like a DCU top 5 fight scenes and like a MCU top 5 fight scenes. So shout out to this podcast I was listening to. I forgot the name of this podcast I was listening to yesterday on Spotify, and I was like, you know what, I should do a similar thing. Also, I wanted to keep some of these fight scenes contained, at least 5 people within the scene. I didn't want to have too much crazy spectacular like CGI, like 5 Avengers versus like 20 like aliens. Like I kind of wanted to keep it contained and pretty small. So this is just my opinion, guys. If you agree with my list, give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comment section down below. If you don't agree with my list from all those movies that I chose, give me your own list in the comment section down below. Starting with number 5 is from Deadpool 2 Colossus versus Juggernaut. So this scene was a CGI fest, and what was funny about it was Deadpool himself even said incoming CGI fight scene or whatever, and he also said that, and it went in. It was a pretty cool fight scene, seeing Juggernaut take on Colossus and them go at each other, and Colossus is like, no, I needed to, you know, and he became more kind of edgy, and it made it really funny for me for that scene. So I definitely put that as my number 5. It wasn't the best fight scene that I've seen all year or all time by any means, but from all the movies that we've seen, definitely that was a scene that I wanted to highlight because the Cable scene was pretty cool as well, but those fight scenes were extremely short. So I just thought the Colossus and Juggernaut fight was very funny, and I thought it was okay. Coming in number 4, and this is actually my number 5, and I replaced it to put in my number 4, is actually Riot versus Venom. So this fight scene, the reason why I was thinking of putting that as my number 5 as the worst, or least favorite to best, because the fight scene was pretty good until the CGI slobber fest kind of got into the thing. For those of you guys who saw the movie already know what I'm talking about. When the goo started mixing with each other and all that, like it became kind of hard to see, and it wasn't really visually pleasing to the eye. But a lot of the fight scenes were pretty much contained a little bit with the symbiotes fighting, and it had some cool moments, some cool scenes. Riot was kind of doing his thing, Venom was kind of doing his thing, but it kind of turned me off a little bit when, you know, the CGI slobber goo started to like mesh with each other, and I was like, nah. All right, so that brings us to our top 3. Number 3 comes in with Ant-Man and the Wasp. And more specifically, the scene I'm talking about is Wasp versus those henchmen guys in the kitchen. Like I said, the maximum she fought at least a good few people in that scene, and seeing, you know, the transformation between practical effects, the CGI to the stunt doubles and all that stuff was pretty cool. Wasp was really kicking butt. Evangeline Lilly was doing a really good job in some of the scenes that she was in when she was fighting, and I thought it was really cool. I mean, overall, the fight scenes in Ant-Man and the Wasp weren't that spectacular, but that scene in particular was really fun to watch, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed seeing a lot of stuff that's going on with that. Number 2 on my list goes to Black Panther, and that goes to T'Challa and Killmonger. So as you saw, the scene that I'm talking about more specifically is not the second fight, because the second fight had a lot of CGI stuff going on, and I don't mind CGI, but a lot of the practical fights go pretty well for me. So the CGI fight towards the end was okay, but there were moments where they were just cut scenes and it was just kind of like a little bit all over the place. So I was like, no. But the fight that I'm talking about is the very first fight that Killmonger has with Black Panther. We see Michael B. Jordan, a lot of the scenes he was doing on his own, obviously from his Creed background, his training background, and Chadwick Boseman also involved in those scenes by himself, no stunt double for a lot of those scenes, mainly because Chadwick Boseman is also a martial artist. So a lot of those scenes, even revealed by some of the castmates, were done by both of them in the fighting. And I thought the usage of the camera angles and them actually just fighting with like no special effects, just having a straight on like gladiator type fight was really cool to see, and definitely one of my favorite fights of all year, hands down. It's so memorable to me. So that brings me to the number one. Now I don't have any honorable mentions. Normally if I do these types of videos, I've only done one of these videos like a few months ago. I would try to have an honorable mention. I didn't really have an honorable mention for this video in particular, but coming in at number one is obviously from Avengers Infinity War, and the scene that I'm talking about is Thanos versus Hulk. Now that scene was extremely short in the beginning, but what I loved, I think out of all the fight scenes in this entire movie, to be honest with you, that is my favorite fight scene of all time within the movie for me. And reason being is, I remember sitting down in the theater and Hulk comes out. It's a CGI fight, but it looked really good. And Hulk came out and came out fighting him, and we have a Hulk. Thanos, you know, Hulk is throwing his punches, doing his thing. Thanos is just like, you know what? No. This scene showed the intelligence and the knowledge of the fight style that Thanos has, using pressure points and using different things to take down the Hulk, not even taking off his armor. Well, his armor was actually on too because Hulk was a threat, but just using those different techniques to fight Hulk, and just the scene with him do, I was geeking out. Because, you know, I've done martial arts over the years and stuff like that, and I'm a martial arts enthusiast, and I follow a lot of these things. So seeing that fight scene, seeing him using certain techniques like Aikido techniques right there, definitely there's a lot of Aikido going in there, different fighting styles programmed for Thanos to do. I just thought that scene was super cool, and it was really epic, and honestly I can just watch that scene over and over and over again and be satisfied. It wasn't like an extremely long scene, but it was very enjoyable, it was fun, and it was rewarding. But there you go, guys, that's it. That is my top 5 fight scenes from all of the Marvel movies that dropped this year. If I missed a Marvel movie, I'm sorry. I actually checked the list on Google just to make sure I had all the movies, but so far, because obviously Into the Spider-Verse has not dropped yet, but that's all I can pretty much remember from all of that. That's my top 5 for the things. If you guys want me to do a top 5 MCU fights, more specifically MCU fights of all time, or maybe like a top 10 MCU fight scenes or whatever, just let me know in the comment section down below. I definitely want to get into more of these ranking videos. Those are really cool. Like I said, I was inspired by this podcast yesterday to kind of do more of these this type of stuff, so I think it was pretty cool. Let me know your thoughts, let me know what your top 5 is, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure to subscribe, check out the merchandise down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Clockmaster out.